Hi, everybody. I think I've got everything running and recording. So let me share my screen with you. We will look at, I'll move myself down over here maybe. All right, let's get this set so it's maybe a little better. There we go. We are on lesson 2 of our module 5 volume. And let's see what's happening in our practice books. This is P39. The first thing, we're going to attend to precision. Find the dimensions of the right rectangular prism shown in the diagram. The unit cube represents a volume of 1 cubic inch. So there are a couple of ways to do this. What I like to do is I like to maybe just look at this first panel that's on the front. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks across the front. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks tall. So if I do 9 times 5, that would be 45. But again, that's only this first section if I were to cut off this first little panel. Now what I need to look at is how many panels or how wide is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6 layers wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to then say that would be 9 times 5 times 6. So if I'm just finding the dimensions, I just recognized if I'm just finding the dimensions, I don't need to solve. It's almost like when we did an expression. So just telling the dimensions, they would be 9 by 5 by 6. And that would give me the dimensions of that right rectangular prism. It might be a little better. All right. I could go ahead and solve if I wanted to. 45 times 6 then to give me a total of 270 cubic inches. Okay, but we don't need to do that. If we're asked the dimensions, this would be our answer, 9 by 5 by 6. All right. Number 2, use structure. Jai builds a right rectangular prism with 14 centimeter cubes in the bottom layer with no gaps or overlaps. If there are 8 layers, what is the volume of the right rectangular prism? So here's what I need to think about. If we have a rectangular prism, the bottom layer has 14 centimeter cubes. There are 8 of those layers. 8 layers, and we know what one layer is. So I'm going to think of 14 times 8. Each layer is 14. There are 8 layers. When I do the work, 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 1 plus 3 is 11. I would have 112. Let's see, cubic, it's centimeter cubes. So we're going to say cubic centimeters, and I'm abbreviating those for us right now. All right, good job. Find the volume of the unit cubes. Again, several ways to do this. I can look at the top layer, this front layer, a side layer. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my length. I could also use my formula volume, my formula for volume, length times width times height. So here's the length. How many wide? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My eyes went a little tricky there. I wanted to double check. How high is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, my eyes don't like looking at it in the darker shade. So I can do several things. I can do just this front panel. If I have 6 in the length and 4 tall, I would have 24 in each section, and then I have 7 sections. So I could do 6 times 4 equals 24. 24 times 7, 28, 14, 16. So I would get, I'm gonna kind of cross that, 168 cubic units, and I can write it as CU. I can also write units cubed. We can use an exponent and write it like that. Okay, number 4. The length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 for the length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the width. And 1, 2, 3, 4 for the height. So now I'm going to look, I'm going to do 9 times 6 equals 54 times 4 equals 216 cubic units. I'll write it that way for that one. Good. All right, getting to the last couple, it says use the unit given and find the volume. So now instead of cubic units, you can see we have centimeter cubes and we have cubes that are in feet. So we have to use the right unit of measure when we're writing our answer. We're going to find the volume the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4 is my length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the width. And 3 is the height. I'm going to do 7 times 3. My width and my height is 21 times 4 is going to give me 84 cubic unit centimeters. All right, 84 centimeters cubed. And for the last one, for our feet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is our length. 4 is our width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is our height. 7 times 4 is 28 times 8. 8 times 8 is 56. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 5. Let's see, I have 216. Make sure I'm happy with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 4 is 28 times 8. 8 times 8 is not 56. Oh, I caught my own. Something didn't seem right. 8 times 8 is, are you yelling it at me? 64. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 6. We're going to have 224 cubic feet. Whew. Almost had a challenge there. Are there any others? Maybe you caught me on a different challenge. Not that one. Let's look at our test prep on the other side. If you want to pause the video here and complete this side if you haven't already, and then come back and check your answers. The right rectangular prism at the right is made of cubes that are 1 inch on an edge. What is the volume of the figure? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for our length. 3 for our width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for our height. 9 times 3, 27 times 6, 42, 12, 16, 162. Because we're using inch, we're going to label it cubic inches. Which of the following gives the volume of the figure? Here we have a multiple choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is our length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is our width. 12 times 7 is 84. And then there are 3 levels. It is 3 levels high. And we have 252. Oh, I have one that matches letter D. 252 cubic feet. All right. Select all the dimensions that describe right rectangular prisms with a volume greater than 100 cubes. So remember, our length and our width and our height then has to be greater than 100. We are multiplying. 10 times 4 is 40 times 1. That's not enough. That does not get us greater than 100. 20 by 2 by 3. 20 times 2 is 40. 40 times 3. 120. That one is a good answer, letter B. 5 by 5 by 5. 5 times 5 is 25, times another 5 is 125. So letter C is another good choice. 4 by 4 by 7. Well, 4 by 4, that's 16 times 7. I might have to do a little checking here. 112. Letter D is a good answer. 3 by 4 by 8. 3 times 4 is 12, times 8. Oh, close, but no cigar. That was, if you're in my homeroom, that was one of our idioms. Was it an idiom? That was one of our phrases we talked about. Okay, sorry, sidetrack, a little squirrel there. Close, but no cigar. All right. And a spiral review. Evaluate the numerical expression. We know how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and show it. And we would get an answer of 2. Evaluate the numerical expression. Here, I'm going to do the parentheses. I'm going to do them in one step. I know I have to do them first. So I'll still have that 4. 16 minus 4 is 12. Plus 12 minus 9 is 3. 4 plus 12 is 16. Plus 3 is 19. Rewrite the expression with parentheses to equal the value if we want it to equal 12. Well, if I do this, that's 24 minus 5 would be 19 plus 3. No. If I put them around the 8 minus 5, 3 times 3 then is 9 plus 3. Oh, I think they go right there. 3 times the difference of 8 and 5 plus 3. I'm going to check just to make sure I did that in my head. I want to check my work to make sure in my head matches, and it does. Good. Okay. And again, we now want this value to equal 12. 2 plus 5 would be 10, times 4 would be 40. I'm way over. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 2 minus 2, that won't work. 4 minus 2 would be 2. I think that's it. 2 plus 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. I think they go right there. I am going to double check, but I'm going to write it out where I think they go. 2 plus 5 times 4 minus 2 in parentheses. If I do that work, that would equal 12. Okay. I hope you did well. If you have any questions, make sure you ask, either send me an email or bring it up in class. And if there were any challenges, let me know. I'll see you next time.